Can anyone catch them, do you think?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, unbelievable. We didn't expect that.
As unbelievable as it sounds, this is another Arsenal podcast. That is the Away Gooners podcast. We bring news and reaction from Arsenal fans from all over the world. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Away Gooners podcast. We have got Deepak, Arun, and Ellen with us today. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi guys.
So it's not actually a happy meeting again. I'm really frustrated after the last game against Wolves, but still, we've got to get this done. Should have done it after the United game. Would have been a little bit more positive, I think. Are you guys as frustrated as me, or are you guys just calm down after everything?
I'm in a calm down state. Like Wolves game always brings something to us.
Yeah. It seems like a jinx with them, right? Like last time we played, we had that huge mistake or whatever.
It clashed.
The
It
net
clashed with
diversion and
German.
everything. Yeah. And then now this game has again some controversy. Like it's always the same with Wolves. Some of the teams like Crystal Palace, Wolves, who else is there? Southampton. These teams are always like that.
The boogie teams, yeah.
Yeah, but then like we can talk about the two games. But the one underlying concern for me is about referee war, the decision making. Right. Let me get into that first because I want to get that out of my chest before we can talk about anything else. What do you guys think about I know we have when we were talking before the podcast recording, Arun was mentioning that we have this tendency of complaining on referee a lot more, Arun. But it is for me like how can you not complain after seeing stuff like what happened with Lewis, after seeing what happened in United game? How can you not complain when these stuff keep happening to Arsenal?
I totally understand your point. Yeah, I was frustrated too. The day of the game, I think it was Monday, right? The game was on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty frustrated on Monday, but like by Tuesday I was back to normal because it's you have to come out of this as a team. You know, if the team is not really able to come out of this, then it shows the mentality of the team. The manager then has a bigger task in hand than what we ever thought he had. If it's I agree that the refereeing was bad throughout the game, but my concern is more than the referee. It's about like having a system in place called video assisted refereeing and that system failing. That is my concern because always there have been referee decisions that go for you or against you. That doesn't really matter because it's a part of football. It is what made football what it was. But then since we got the advancement, we got VAR, and if the results are not going to be consistent with VAR, then that's a problem. You know, like I see it as two separate things. One is refereeing, the other one's VAR. The referee makes a mistake, that's normal. You cannot complain. Really, you cannot complain about it. It happens throughout. Referees have 38 games, and if the on-field referee makes a mistake, that's not something that you can really complain about. But when the VAR is not doing the right thing, that's when like you have the inconsistency. Plus, these are the kind of decisions that change seasons. I agree, but then it also like remember we were talking about it at the beginning. Ellen was mentioning it also showed like what kind of a team we really were, because I think I would let Ellen talk about it because it's like if you think about it, the card that we conceded and the situation that it led to was a goal kick in the second minute of extra time.
Yeah. So that's my other concern, right? Like my other concern is that a legitimate scenario? There was only 2 minutes extra time added. We didn't have any time wasted in the added time, injury time, and the whole scenario happened after the legitimate time, according to me.
It was because it's Ellen. You can go for it, Ellen. Yeah.
Yeah, like see, even if there is just 1 second left, right? Anything can happen in that second. So we cannot argue that like it is like in the last minute of extra time.
No, I'm not
the
saying.
More
No, I'm not saying
no,
about. I'm not saying about that it's something that to take the blame off our players or whatever, right? My question is, this is purely not about just war, because even in the before
no,
game,
no, no.
right? Like
No,
even.
let me come to the let me come to the refereeing thing also.
Mhm,
Like I will be talking about that too.
mhm.
See, the thing is like what Arun was trying to say, like me saying about us, like see, it is like the last minute of an extra time, or even like not even a minute, less than a minute available. You have a goal kick. You are leading 1-0. What did you do? You gave the ball to your opponents, gave them a chance to do an attack, and you considered a penalty out of that. See, whether
No,
Louis like no,
okay,
no, no,
okay,
like
okay. Let
leave the
me
red
put it
card
this
part.
way.
No,
No,
leave the red card part. No, no,
yeah,
no. Let me come back to the refereeing thing. Leave the red card part. It is a clear penalty. We cannot deny that. Why do you have to concede that? The red card part is an issue. See, again, as Arun pointed out, with VAR, right,
mhm.
it has to be really good. You see in World Cups, you see in UEFA, you see in other leagues, VAR is not causing this much issue. So it has nothing to do with VAR. It is like with the capability of the referees that is there in Premier League. That is why all of this is coming as issues. And the other thing is, see, I am okay with all these kinds of like issues. But the problem for me, I have a problem with referees too. Not only with Arsenal game, with other games also. The referees are inconsistent. See, for a tackle, right? Like say, even if you take any game, like the referees might be bad, but like they'll be consistent in that bad too. Say, for example, like for one tackle, they give like a card. In the same match, for a similar tackle, they doesn't give it.
Hmm.
So that is the inconsistency you can see across all the games. And if we are going to have problems with refereeing decision, right? Follow what Southampton did. They lodged an official complaint. Why are we not doing this? Because there were occasions where we were also benefited. Like we won't talk when we get benefited. Like see, with
Yeah.
United,
Mhm.
it is not only as many teams have got affected, and the reason is like many of the referees still now are like old referees, and they are like people who are worked under Fergie. Like see,
Mhm.
when Ferguson was there was a clear fear on the referees to give a decision against United, not only because of Ferguson, but because of the fan pressure too. So that kind of attitude, some of the referees still have, but like I won't say all the referees. So Wolves games, whatever we have got, right? Like see, it's again a gray area in the rule. Like it can be seen as anyways. If you take like some previous seasons before, right, it's a clear red card. The rule change only prevents us from saying that it's not a red card, it can be an yellow card. So the way people interfere, right, like, and as we discussed in the past too, like there were like two senior referees coming out and saying, one saying that's a red card and other saying it's not a red card. So it's not that clear decision where you can definitely say it's not a red card.
No, the concern
Though
for
there are
me.
like more
Okay.
positives that it is like not a red card, but like we cannot 100% say it's not a red card. That's where
No,
like interpretations comes into picture.
no, that's where my concern is, right? Like first of all, about the goal kick, like about us taking a goal kick in that scenario, that is exactly what we would want our team to do, right? We have time to waste. We want the ball to be far away from our goal post as possible, and the best way to do that is kick the ball long. How many times have
No,
we
like
said that?
no, no, no.
How
The
many times have
important
we
thing is
said
like
that
to
the
have the
goalkeeper has to?
possession.
What?
No, no. Important thing is to have the possession. Like, see, 30
No, come on,
seconds. Like,
Ellen. That's
you're not going to lose the ball. See, 30 seconds. You're
No,
not
yeah,
going to lose
30
the ball.
seconds. Why
What
do
you
you
have
want to
to
lose
do?
the ball? You shouldn't lose the ball.
no. You
You
want the
have to
ball to
take
be.
the ball. No, you have to take the ball. Go to the opponent side. It's not like doing a long pass
Hoofing
or
the ball, yeah, it's not
this
going to
thing.
work.
It will go to the
Even
opponent player like you are taking a 50-50 chance. You have to have the ball in your possession, pass it, take it to the opponent side. That is correct. But like not by through a long pass or like through a goal kick like towards the opponent area.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That is what we would say if something else would have happened,
okay,
right?
see,
We would.
even if the goal kick which he took Leno, it
Mhm.
didn't like go far. It was just in the middle circle. So
Yeah,
that was like first wrong. He should have taken towards like a winger or someone, not to the middle of the field where like Wolves would
Yeah,
be.
if it's on the winger or somebody, even if it's a wrong kick or like this thing, it will go out, which will again waste time.
No, I think the reason why Leno took was that's the normal scenario that we do. Like we take a goal kick when the game is about to, like, when we go into a halftime or when we go into, like,
Yeah,
we get a
but
goal kick,
usually
right?
what Leno is doing right now is he's kicking towards Pepe or someone. I don't know why he kicked towards like the middle of the
Because he was
circle.
thinking that there is going to be a whistle there, right? Because
But
if you
he
look
was
back,
on
No,
the
there
no,
was a
ground.
lot
You
of
no,
don't
time.
play
if
for
you
the whistle.
no, if you
No, you
look
don't
back,
play for the whistle.
if you look back to that scene, because I was watching the game again, and if you look back, the referee had the whistle to his mouth when
Yes,
Leno
because
kicks
he
it,
needs to blow it. Yeah, he
because
needs
he
to
has
blow
to
it.
blow it, and that's what Leno is thinking, right? The
No, no,
game's
no.
about to
See,
end, so I kick
no,
the
no,
ball long.
no. One of the important coaching instruction is like play for the whistle. Like don't expect a whistle to come in. It's an important
Yeah,
lesson
I know,
told
but
many times. And like then
no,
it's a
that
mistake
is
from Leno. We have to agree. Like we should not like see just because if it is done by some other player, right? We would have criticized him just because
no,
like
it's not.
we are
No,
a fan of a particular club and he plays for that. Like we should not
no,
like defend his mistakes.
no, I definitely would criticize Leno for his red that he got. But what I'm saying is, in this scenario, I don't think there is any blame on Leno or the team strategy to play the ball long.
But there
Okay,
is like, if you see like Lewis, he went to like win the ball. He didn't have to do that. He could have just held his line. Then they wouldn't have the space to move the ball like forward. He could have just stayed back. He went with William Jose to fight for the ball. Why he had to do that when he had just 10 seconds?
yeah, I mean, there are
What
conditions
is
that
the use of winning the ball there and like leaving space behind you for the opponent player to run?
that is something that we have to put up with Lewis, right?
Yeah,
Even in
that's
the
what I'm
United
saying.
game,
Like,
he
When you
went running
accept
up.
Louis, no. When you accept Louis made a mistake, what Leno did is also a mistake. Like it's a
No, I don't think
collective team
so.
failure. It's a collective team failure. That's what we'll have
It,
to
it, it
accept.
has to be this way because so when you know that Lewis is not strong there, it's Leno's job to like make sure that he's not put in a situation through a long ball or hoof ball. It's not like a pass that he's going to his foot. He is kicking it like we all have been talking about. It should have been in the wings, even if it was a long ball, right? It wasn't going to the wings. Why are you hitting it straight? You're putting the guy who is very most prone to making errors in those situations and doesn't have the recovery pace. You're putting him in the most awkward of situations, but with that kick, that should be avoided. That should be avoided.
Okay,
so
yeah.
like there were like three mistakes, one from Leno, one from Lewis, and one from referee. It was
Yeah.
never a red card.
So the
Like I
other thing,
wouldn't blame the referee. I thought like it was a red card and it was a penalty. Like when you look at the real
When they
time.
saw in real time.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it
So
was a
the
red card in
biggest
real time
mistake
too.
was after going to
Mhm.
yeah. So after going to VAR, the thing they didn't change the decision. That is the most thing which frustrates me.
Seriously.
So,
No, that is the other
VAR
thing
is
that I
supposed to
wanted
be
to. That is the other thing I wanted to bring up about referee, right? Like because I was hearing about the. Do you guys remember the Bruno Fernandes tackle on Xhaka in the Man United game, right? What they said was if the referee would have given a yellow card, then it would have gone on to VAR, and then the VAR would have checked whether it was a foul deemed enough for a red or whatever. So since the referee did not give a foul on that scenario, I mean, I'm not thinking that it's going to be a red, but I'm just thinking that since it was not deemed foul by referee, it didn't go to the VAR at all. And it's the same thing regarding the red card too, because the referee, like this was one of the complaints we had, right? Because referees don't get to see the replays, but now you have the screen to watch it.
Okay.
So
Because
wouldn't
just
VAR
to
inform the referee to go and watch, especially in a red card scenario? If he would have gone and watched, I don't think he would have given a red card.
okay. There is a small catch here because so like the way the VAR functions, right? Like say even if it sees something like this and the referee has not given a card, it cannot give a card to him.
Yeah.
On the other hand, right, like after the match is over, like a person can be given a card for these kind of things, like because the referee hasn't seen it at that time. If he hasn't seen it, like he
No,
can
but what is the
see the
point in
replays
that?
after that, and he has given a card. No, but the
No,
thing is
what is
like,
the
see,
point
it's a
after
red
that?
card, you'll
Because
at least miss the match. No,
no,
the thing here is,
it has nothing
see,
to do
if
with that.
VAR, no. Let me say something. Like say, why VAR took a lot of time to come to football? If see, it was not something like the game has been stopped or anything. The game was going on when like Bruno made that tackle. If VAR is going to stop the referee at that time when the match is in progress and is going to ask and come and like watching the screen, it is going to waste a lot of time and VAR will be completely gone off. That is what will happen. But like, see, the issue here is VAR should be given more power, or like all these kind of things, right? That should be something like a post-match thing with the referees, and referee whatever like or controversial decision which he hasn't given or like has been given, like he can see that and then they can take a call after that. See, for example, like
but what is the point
like,
of
the referee himself. No,
what is the point, right?
There are point like Louis red card, if it gets changed to yellow by the referee after he sees at the end, he's not banned.
Yeah, but still we have lost the
Whereas,
game.
See, it's just one game lost. Like, see, now if Louis is banned for 3 matches, like you are going to lose 3 games. Like, if he's an important player, like say a Messi or a Ronaldo getting banned like this, there's a chance they might lose 3 more games. It's better than like losing 1. See,
no,
I'm not saying
better
like
than...
you're getting 100% decisions right. Even with technology in all the sports, there's no guarantee 100% decisions are right. There will be 1 or 2 decisions. Like, see, and as I said, these are issues because of like Premier League referees are not doing good. It's not because of VAR as an issue. And when will that will stop? When there is a post-match review and like say if the referees are getting a lot of decisions wrong, you know that referee is not capable. If he's changing a lot of things.
There is absolutely no repercussion for the referee right
now.
That
is what I'm saying. So that is the issue we need to tackle. See, even if you take cricket, like there were a lot of issues like this, and one ICC has its own elite umpires, and like when they're making a lot of mistakes, right? Like when the DRS came in, like initially there were like a lot of controversies, like whatever we are seeing. But after some time, right, the DRS acted as a reference point. So that like when a referee gets a lot of decisions wrong in DRS, the situations are taken into consideration. But like even in a normal situation, if they're making a lot of decisions, they are removed from the ICC panel. And that's when the ICC panel umpire started increasing in its quality. Similar thing will come here also. But like at the moment, Premier League wanted to show VAR as a failure. Like that is what they were doing from the last few years. So that is why you see a lot of issues in Premier League. But in other leagues, you don't see that issue. So it's not VAR's problem. Like it's the way Premier League referees handle it, and the way like they doesn't get like any issues even if they do it wrong.
Yeah, we can.
Not changing no matter what. Like they are the most protected human beings by FA. So nothing is changing.
Yeah, and it's always Arsenal who gets the end of these things mostly.
See, imagine every team like gets this like.
But Manchester United never gets it.
No, they did. They lost 2 goals in Sheffield United. Like, so it's not just Arsenal.
See, imagine Southampton situation. We are complaining about this thing. Within 90 seconds, a player has got a red card. 99% of the time, right? Even if it's a very like unfair tackle, referees try to avoid giving it at the very first few minutes, and they got it. And like
but that was a red card like all day.
No. I'm not saying that was not a red card. Like I'm saying, like so. Will you argue with that purpose? Like it's like within 90 seconds, like how can you give a red card? That guy hasn't even touched the ball. He tried to do and like he made a mistake. Will you say like that? No, right? It's the same thing. Like we made a mistake. The recuperation should have been less, but like it was more for us with Louis' red card. It should have been like penalty and everything, just like an yellow. Other than that, like there is nothing big loss from a yellow to red, like except for a few match ban for him. On that match, right, it was not a big decision for us to like do a big impact. Like second half, we like brain faded and like we lost all our thing. It was like in the past, like even under Wenger or even under like Arteta, like whenever we are down with 10 men, we have always performed better. That game we didn't perform better.
Really? I thought like we were performing better even under 10 men. Only when we went to 9 men, we were not able to do anything.
No. Like after the second goal, like our spirits were down. It's not like
it's very visible.
Okay, but Deepak, what do you think? What do you think about the United game? What is that a fair result or?
Yeah, it was a fair result. Like both teams evened out. So I wouldn't like say like we should have won it or something. We had chances. United had their chances. Like I would say even they had like more clear-cut chances. So we would have like berated like Laca if he had missed the chances what Cavani missed. So yeah, so it's a fair 0-0 draw.
But it's always Cavani has always been like that player, right? Like he has always been the one who misses a lot, not just at United, even before at PSG. Like even when he was playing at where was he playing before PSG? Even then, he was never.
Napoli.
Yeah, I mean, we faced Napoli sometime in Champions League like a long time ago, and he missed a couple of chances even then. I mean, he's always
Not
that
couple.
kind
I
of-
think like 5 or 10 chances he'll
Yeah,
miss in that
yeah,
entire
so-
game. I remember that game.
So yeah, so he has always been
No,
that
but-
player. The only surprising thing was that Rashford miss.
No. Let me put it like, say, Cavani's misses against us, right? Like, I will say the second chance, like, where like he had a clear chance on the goal, but that was like happening very fast. But the first one, right? We have to give credit to Cedric because like he defended really well in that one. It was not like Cavani missed it. It was like the pressure which Cedric made him miss it. So let's not like take the credit from our guys for what they have done good there. It was not like Cavani missed it. Like it was not something like what Willian missed it. He hit it straight to the goalkeeper. It was not like that.
But yeah, Deepak. On that note, though, we had a really good game in the midfield. We kept Pogba quiet. We kept Bruno quiet. So how impressed are you with your CLL again?
Yeah, he was the main man, like because Partey had like a really poor game.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was all down to Xhaka. Yeah, he was the man of the match against United as well.
But they gave the man of the match to David Luiz.
Yeah, he was also solid because like the axis, like Leno, Lewis, and Xhaka, they were like really solid in that game. So yeah, I was like very disappointed with Partey. I expected him a lot, like given his previous performance at Old Trafford, but he was trying to make like let's say
Cute
like
passes.
Hollywood passes
Yeah.
or like cute passes and like not keeping the possession, which he corrected against Wolves. He was like really good. But yeah, all
But-
along like
but
Xhaka
then,
has
like-
been the best player for last 2 months.
So the player of the month for
Yeah,
Arsenal is
definitely should go to Xhaka. I don't know, like if Gabriel gets player of the month like the first 2 times, why not Xhaka?
But Arun, again, like Pepe had an amazing game against United, and even in the Wolves game, he was really good. He scored the goal, which was amazing. How happy are you to see?
Physical, nutmeg, it had everything.
Yeah, how happy are you with Pepe taking his
I'm
chances?
very happy. I'm very happy now. It's just given the manager a lot more selection headaches because Pepe was supposed to be like playing on the right. He played on the left. He played really well, and against Wolves again, he played on the right and he played really well again too. So wait, did he play on the right?
No, on the left. He played.
No, against United
Yeah,
he played on the right.
Right, yeah.
United he played on the
That's
right.
right. That's right. So but he has been performing really well. I don't know if it is like fire under his butt because kids like Saka are playing and his place is no longer assured, or if it's the Arteta effect of working with him and figuring something out. But whatever it is finally like seemed to be unlocking his potential. But 2 games are again too early to judge. He was pretty good in the game before that as well against Southampton.
Yeah, against Southampton he was good. Against United he was good, and against
So
Wolves
3
Wolves
games,
he
I
was
would-
really good.
Yeah, I would just like to. It shows that he's the kind of a confidence player. He needs the confidence, and that's something that we've always been talking about. You need someone in there who can, provide the ball to him rather than him having to do all the work. That's when he's playing there's 10 people playing and then there's Pepe playing. So when he's having his role has changed, and I don't know in what part. I think it's more of the lesser of a ball carrier and more of ball receiver.
I think that is what
he does give those passes.
Arteta wanted from him. And he's also like working so
Yes.
hard, like
He's
defending
working
wise,
really hard. Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you see him, he's all over the pitch, and the fact that we have Baron on that side, on the right, was it was almost Baron's lack of defending was made up by Pepe, and the same thing on the left too. When Cedric was playing, Not that Cedric wasn't playing well, he was playing really well, but the fact that Pepe was covering so much ground and his speed, even like, at 80 minutes when he was like running for the ball, it showed that the guy is like willing to put in the effort. He's putting in the effort, and like, he's willing to make the change. He sees he needs to make a change, and he is doing that. So that's really good to note. I would like to see him continue on this for at least the next 5 or 6 games. Even if he's not able to put in a 9 on 10 performance game in game out, if he's be able to be a 7 on 10 for the next 5 games, that would mean something. That would be progress rather than like 9 on 2 games and then you go back to a 3. That makes no sense. You're not really progressing in that case.
So
Yeah.
would you stick with him even though Auba is available now and Xhaka is available now? So whom do you take out to make room for Pepe?
It's interesting because I've had a different view about players coming back from injury before. Remember, you were asking me if it would be okay uh, if we can take Mari out and bring Gabriel back as soon as he comes back. I said yes, Gabriel, based on his like performances. Similarly, and his reputation too. Similarly, right now we're in a very similar situation. We have Pepe, who's been performing really well, and Alba, who's got like amazing reputation, and on top of that is the captain of the team. So it's a good selection headache to have. I really don't know. I really don't have an answer for your question. Like that's something that we have been like thinking about as well. Like having maybe Pepe start the game and have Abba come in as an impact player in the second half till he regains his form. Abba is not in the best of form. He's come back. He's not match fit, so he does need some time. So of course, football, we have a lot of games to play, and there's definitely going to be the need for these players. So it's good to keep everyone fresh. So in that sense, I think Pepe should be starting the next few games as well, with Auba coming in as a substitute in the second half and regaining his match fitness. Yeah.
So continuing on Pepe, Ellen, you were about to make a point about Pepe and his shooting and
Yes. No, like if you see, right, like the goal, like he scored against Wolves, he scored with his right foot. And that was not like a normal tap in or anything. It was a very good goal, like on his wrong foot. See, in the past, if you have seen, right, Pepe will always try to move the ball to his left foot so that he can shoot. So, as Arun was saying, right, whether it's Arteta effect, I think it's Arteta effect because like it's a skill set like which he's trying to change, and that is what I think he did with Sterling also there. Maybe because he's now a full-time manager, right? Like he's not focusing that much as he was doing with Sterling, and that is why it might be taking time. But I see some improvements on the way he plays. Like, see, whether he's going to be good or bad, that's a different thing. Like as Arun said, we have to see him for 5 or 6 matches at least. But like whether he has improved, he has definitely improved. On a skill, I'm saying. I'm not talking about his work rate or anything. I'm just talking about his skill.
but
He's
even in his
actually
work
improved a
rate, he
lot.
has improved a lot, right? Like
Improved a lot.
he's
No, but
helping
that is
out.
something like we cannot say within 2-3 matches because like now he's playing for his place. So that gives him an extra motivation to do an extra work rate. But like it's going to be like this for an entire season or like this thing, then I'll definitely agree. Or even 5-6 matches. Like after that, like there could be 1 or 2 matches where like fatigue can come up. But I can be happy that if he's having the same work rate for the next 5-6 matches along with this skill improvement, even if he doesn't score or do an assist, I'll still be happy because he's improving, which is what we need. And
But
regarding your
Pepe
other
needs to.
question,
But
right?
Pepe always looks like, even in the games that he doesn't play well, he always makes that 5 or 6 or at least 3 key passes. He always takes on
Yes,
shots.
he always
He's always on the end product. Something that most of our other players, like whom we complain about, lack is the end product, right? Except Saka, we don't have players who have end products. That's what we say. Even Lacazette doesn't have that much of an end product that we want, but Pepe seems to be having that end product. The only thing
no,
that
but
was lacking was the work rate.
no, that is what is going to be like his next improvement area because like now I think he's in a conflict. He will go into a conflict soon because Arteta's way of working, right? Like he wants to work with all the teammates. Earlier, right, he used to play alone. So in that scenario, right, having the end product it is very easy because his main focus is to try to shoot and like try to like pass it like to the end player, like striker if somebody comes in. Now, like he has to play from the back and everything, and like whether he's able to replicate that end product now is what is going to be his next big thing, or like improvement area. And like if he does that, right, like definitely like we have a actually like I will support Arun today. Like we have a top class player. Like if that happens,
Arun
but
is
there's
so
a big if
happy.
there. No, before we focus completely on Pepe, like you had one more question regarding Auba and whether Pepe needs to play in. I'll
Yeah.
just like maybe like I'm not sure whether the India England match happening in my home city is having some cricket effect on me. The reason Big Bash League, right, like is happening like during the pandemic, there was India Australia Test series, so many of the major Australian players were not available. But if you take a team like Sydney Sixers, where like Stark is an important player, he was not available. The team has qualified for the final. Now, like they're just waiting for whom the next opponent is. All other teams, right? They have, as soon as they got their international player back, many of them like put them back. But Sydney Sixers didn't play Stark. They have openly said they won't play Stark in the final unless there is an injury. The reason is like the set of 11 players who have played so far, I've got them to the final. They doesn't want to affect that momentum, as well as doesn't want to affect the chance for the person like who has brought them to final. So they're not going to play Stark in the final, even though he's their marquee player. Similar way, we see it's like right from the beginning, like when we started doing the pod, I said like Auba should play in central striker as a central striker, and he has to improve that. But now in the current situation, right, Laca is a better player than Auba if you take in the middle. And Auba as a winger, like if he is able to contribute only to that, right, like then he has to fight for his place only. Like if Pepe does well or Saka does well, like and like somebody in the right does well and Saka moves to left, Auba has to come from bench. There are no other second choice unless he shows something better than other guys. He's a great finisher. He's a great goal scorer. I'm not denying that. But as a left wing, like in this current team, right, like I don't think like he can involve with Laca and Saka, similar not Saka, Laca and ESR, similar to what a Saka or a Pepe is doing now. I don't think Auba is capable of that. It's not like Auba is not bad because he's not doing that. It is because like that is a different skill set which he doesn't possess. So I will, as Arun said, like in that case, like what I will try to do is like play with these guys and like say when these guys are tired, right, like make Auba come in and then like try to score the goals in the last 30-40 minutes.
But Deepak, that brings another question, right? Like for me, the question is, we have committed with Aubameyang for the next couple of years. We have not committed with Lacazette. He's still like at the end of the season, he's going to have 1 year left on his contract. So should we do this with Aubameyang where he has to fight for his place, or should we move Auba to the center and train him to be our center forward?
That would be the best scenario. Like if we don't want to extend Lacazette's contract, so we should start training Aubameyang to play more centrally. So he wouldn't possess the same skills which Laca has, like bringing others into play like Saka or like Pepe or someone. So if we don't want to extend Lacazette, so we should start playing Aubameyang.
But then do we need, I mean, Lacazette used to play a different role before we brought in the number 10 position, right? He used to drop in deeper. He was the one who was making everyone click. Right now, that is split between him and ESR.
Yes.
So it's easier to replace him is what I'm getting to.
I don't think so. It is easier to replace Lacazette right now in this team. He's like one of the main fulcrum of this team. Like let's say like Roberto Firmino for Liverpool or whatever it is. So the entire attacking play revolves around Lacazette. Like he's like the point where like everyone looks up to him. He holds up the ball and brings all the others into play. So I don't think so. Like Aubameyang would be able to do that, and also I don't think so Aubameyang would be that great in left wing. So I'm feeling like we have like given him like a wrong extension of like 3 years, paying him like 350K or something. It feels like Ozil again.
Do you feel that same way, Arun?
No.
Okay.
No. For me, he had to stay. He had to sign a contract because at that point the team was rebuilding, And if your biggest and most important player leaves, I know we actually joked about it before that this was actually becoming into another Ozil situation.
Yeah.
We joked about it. But if you think about it, it really is not. It's not it's actually a combination of a lot of factors that have happened this season that have led to, like, Auba having the season that he's having. It's not normal for him to have a season like this, and his contract was based on the previous 2 years, the performance that he had for the previous 2 years. It is very different from another situation. And for a group of young players with a new manager who it's easy to forget the struggles of the beginning of the season when we start playing well. But then imagine at that point we didn't have Aubameyang either. The team would have looked very different. The team would have played very different. The confidence would have been very low. You need that sort of a player in the team that the team can really look up to, because it's not just about the goals that he brings into the team. It's also about the qualities, the leadership qualities. Though it might not seem on like show on the pitch, the fact that he's a big voice in the dressing room and he's a non-complainer is a huge thing for the youngsters. Being a role model and doing things the way he does without fuss is a quality that, like, not a lot of players of his age and experience would have, because by that point you would be like, I am the best player and I have to be in the right all the time. So being that sort of a role model that he is a huge impact on the team. So I really wouldn't think that giving the contract extension to him was a mistake, at least not yet. But even, like, I would even cut slack, like he can have one bad season if he can come back next season and, like, do really well. But the problem that we have right now, and it is a very good problem to have, is the fact that we have adequate cover in all the positions, which means that even Aubameyang, with all his reputation and being the captain, is having to fight for his place in the team, which is definitely a really very good problem to have. I mean, like, I wouldn't complain about it. Now, will he be able to do the same kind of play that Laca said does right now? I am really not sure, because Auba was not that kind of a player who can hold a play yet. But neither was Lacazette. And
Yeah.
holding up play was something that I would not have expected from Lacazette at all, given his size and his ability to, like, being like that sort of a sharpshooter. But if Lacazette, with his size, can do that role, Aubameyang can probably do a variation of that role. You don't really have to be that like that person linking completely. But if he's able to, like, bring players in without having to have his back against a goal all the time, I'm pretty sure that's possible, because he's at an age where he's seen a lot, he's done a lot, and Arteta can easily work with him. But if he does, if the flip side is that it's difficult to teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's not true anymore. I don't think that's true anymore.
I really don't know.
Yeah,
I really
No,
don't know.
like
one more thing. Do you think like Aubameyang wants to be on the bench? I don't think so.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. That's the thing. But
He wants to start every game. So I don't think so. You want to like pay like some 350K for a player and keep him on the bench and like ask him to come at like 60th minute and score goals. So for me, Aubameyang has to start over Pepe. Even if Pepe.
no, I mean, it's based on. I agree with you on the fact that he has to start based on reputation, based on everything that he's done. Yeah, he's definitely the first name on the sheet. But given the current form that Pepe is having, and given all the criticism that he's faced, and when he's putting up these performances, if he does not get a run in the team, you're affecting the morale of the player, affecting the confidence of the player. And mind you, Aubameyang is not in form right now. He needs to gain back his match fitness. So given that, I would prefer him coming back in slowly, because we are not like losing anything. We're not playing a player like Willian above him. We're playing Pepe above him, who's also in good form. So we are not losing anything at this point. So if Aubameyang can actually come into form by playing like 30 minutes or 40 minutes or one half, that should be the ideal situation for us right now. If you take Pepe out, you put Aubameyang right in, it's going to destroy Pepe's confidence. And he's shown right now that he's like a player who thrives on confidence, and the managers, trust in him.
It is so good to have this conversation. Before that, we were like, which awful player are we going to have in the team? Who is going to play? And now we are talking about like who's this, like who is going to be left out. But Ellen, regarding the striker situation especially in the United game, I thought Martinelli did really well. I didn't feel the need for him to be pulled out at halftime. And after the game, Arteta came out and said it was a tactical switch. I mean, it worked. When Willian came on in the second half, we played better. Of course, we played better. But where is Martinelli? I
Okay.
feel
Let
for
me.
the kid.
No.
I feel that the
Let
kid
me
is
try
really
to
good,
answer it.
but I also get the feeling that he is from a Brazilian fourth division. He can wait. He has age at his side. Let him wait.
No. Okay. See, the issue for him is right. Like, say he plays on the left predominantly again, like where the competition at the moment is like at the maximum. So that's a good thing to have. Like, say, and again, he has age and like he will definitely improve. See, the reason for the tactical substitution, right? Many criticize Arteta for that, but for me, right, like that was actually correct decision. Like, see, I like Martinelli a lot, but see, Martinelli even in that game, right, will run from the forward area to the defense to save a thing also. But what Arteta wanted to do was like to avoid such kind of situations, because Martinelli, right, like again, it is because like with this new formation, he hasn't played much. It takes time for him also. Like the tracking back was not much, and he wanted somebody to give support to Cedric because it was not Tierney who was playing there. So he wanted somebody to support Cedric, and that's why like he brought in Willian instead of Martinelli. See, Willian like the entire season, like except the Fulham game, he was bad. But that game, right, he did this role perfectly. I won't say like he was like that bad. Yes, he missed. He
Deepak
missed
is
that
the-
goal and
Game
everything.
after
No,
Fulham.
I'm comparing with not his own usual standard he added in Chelsea. I'm comparing his Arsenal standard. I'm saying he's not bad. Let me clarify on that. But that was the see. Martinelli was sacrificed for the overall benefit of the team. That is how I see that.
Mhm.
But again, like he will have its own trouble to get into the team, like how Reece Nelson is facing on the other side.
But Deepak, before we finish off with the whole games talks, are you impressed with Holding yet or no?
Yes, I am. Like, if you take this season into consideration, he has been our best defender. So I am
Yeah.
impressed with him a lot this season. So
Mhm.
overall, as a player, but I'm not
How
still sure.
long does he have to prove for you to
Yeah,
accept
let's
that
say
he's a
like
good
this
defender?
entire
Okay.
season, let him perform this entire season like for 38 games at this level, then I would accept him like he's like a good enough defender and he would be like one of the starting names in our like a starting player. So because he has been not playing like let's say like 38 games every season or even like 25 games, I guess is like what he has played
16.
maximum 16 or 17
16,
games.
yeah, 16 games.
No, that was the season like where he had this ACL, or else like he would have played because under Emery that season, right? He was the best defender again. But again,
See?
at that time, like your other defenders, right? They were all very bad, not
So
like
that's what.
the current situation.
So that's
See,
what.
but
Like let
again,
him play
It's
38.
sorry that he didn't cost 50 million.
no, let
Yeah,
me put it
because
in
he's
another way.
playing like like 10 million. Definitely.
So let me put it in another way. He was like brought up from Bolton, like under I forgot that coach's name,
Owen
like
Coyle, I guess.
Owen Coyle, yeah. Like they are good at
Defending.
using their edge, like both while scoring as well as like while defending, and that is what he is doing. Like, see the things he has learned from his younger days. The reason why we got him, he is doing that role well now. There are like lot of areas where he has to improve. See again, when you compare, right, like what we did for Saka that day, like or like yes sir, we always compare with the other Arsenal players who are not good, or like players like see we have to compare him with the best. See, when you are going to say Holding is going to be our leader, he has improved a lot. He's
I'm
consistent.
not
I'm
saying
not
he's going
denying
to be a
that.
leader. I'm just saying that he has been a good.
No, that's what. When you
Because
say a
you
good
guys didn't
defender,
believe that. You guys were like
no.
not
Let me
always slacking
say
him.
no. When you're saying like say even BVD, right, like he was really good at like Southampton too. But like he was considered world class only when he started doing day in day out the same things in Liverpool. Until that, right, he was equally good. Like, but against a team like Southampton, where the other players were like making mistakes, he was not considered that great. So he has to perform. Like, see, he has to take this team to the next level. See, Arsenal now, like, we are not qualifying for Europa. Like, current situation, like, he has to make sure we have like tough games like City, Leicester, everything coming up. Like, say, in those games, if we have a clean sheet, even a 0-0 draw is still a point gained in those kind of games in the current situation. Like, if he starts doing things like that, right, he will be considered as a good player. Now he's doing his basics right. Again, defenders, right, like their role is to do defense. And if you're saying that he's doing his defensive duty properly and you're saying it's good, I cannot accept
because
that.
Arsenal doesn't have good defenders in the past 11 years. We have not had a defender who does defending in past 11-12 years. But
what BFG used to do well.
Another thing about Holding is this: his ceiling is not probably that very high. You know, his ceiling would probably be like maybe like a next season would probably be his top. He'll hit his ceiling probably next season, and then that would continue for another 2 or 3 seasons, and he'll start plateauing. He's not like a gifted player. Do you think he's like a Rafael Varane? No. Do you think he's like a, you know, like let's think about the other big top centre backs, or probably like Upamecano? No, I'm just going based on reputation here. But if you really see it, he's someone who's got his ceiling. He knows what his ceiling is, and he's performing to his limitations. That doesn't mean that he's a world beater right now. He didn't cost 50 million because he cannot cost 50 million. In normal universe, if he costs 50 million, then there's something wrong with that universe, you know. So giving this argument of I'm sorry he didn't cost 50 million, for me is like it makes no sense. If Holding is going to cost 50 million, I don't even want to think about how much guys like Van Dijk, you know. So yeah, but it's good that he's performing. No, we're not going to complain if he's performing well. But he has to be more consistent. For me, he has to be more consistent.
By the way, the transfer is complete. Mustafi is no longer Arsenal player. Arun, what's your favorite Mustafi moment?
Favorite Mustafi moment was when he left. It was like bogey came, you know, like a festival bogey came 2 weeks late for all Gooners, and we had to like burn everything out of the club. Another funny fact, an interesting fact is by getting rid of all these guys, we have saved almost 750 million in wages, 750,000 in wages.
Wow.
So that is a huge thing. And
I think a lot of that is out of Ozil's pocket, right? So
half of that is for Ozil, but then guys like Sokratis and Mustafi were a part of the remaining half.
We were paying like 180.
Mustafi was like 180, 190, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made no sense. I mean, like we've been talking about Ozil getting 350 all this time, but Ozil has done something to get that
350.
You know, it's not like Mustafi, who was a part of a World Cup winning squad. There's a huge difference, and he was getting 190.
We paid 30 million for him, Deepak. 35, and we got zero. Zero out of it.
Of course, you would get zero. I thought you would get negative.
Now, again, it just brings me back to the same point that you made about Holding. Well, if Holding's not 50 million, 2 million, like Mustafi was 35 million, he's not all that great, right? So, I don't know. The cost doesn't determine anything in that place.
No, I get it. But how happy are you with this window, Deepak? Or did you expect something else to happen?
No. Like
I don't think he expected even this to happen.
So I'm happy. Like we got rid of all these players, like especially like Mustafi and Kolasinac. I knew Ozil would leave. So the way we were able to get rid of these guys, it frees the wages up for us to make a good signing. Hopefully we make a good signing. Don't like repeat like signing players like Mustafi for 35 million or like something like that. Hopefully we make a good signing, probably a number 10,
and a cover for Pepe.
Yeah, we should sign a left back. Yeah, that would be like
a left back.
Yeah,
we need a left back, and
we need a cover for Pepe. That's one thing that I'm like, every time he goes down or he pulls up a cramp or something, I feel like no one else can play what he is doing, whether he's having a good game or a bad game.
It should be our priority order for me. It should be left back, then like a number 10, and then like a backup for Partey. Because like we are very like fragile on the number like left back position because Tierney gets injured always. I don't know what's happening. It's again Arsenal's curse. And then so we have Cedric. What if like Bellerin gets injured? We have someone to play in that position.
Chambers now.
I don't know whether he would. He's also always injured. So left back should be our first priority. Then move on to number 10 if we can find someone good. I just don't want us to spend for the sake of spending. If we find a good number 10, just buy it. If not, just move on to the next priority of getting a backup for Partey.
Because I think like we can for the next season we should be trying to get another, if Odegaard does perform well, probably try to extend his loan and cut Ceballos off. Fucking Ceballos, if we can cut him off, we save money in there. Because Odegaard is like, how much did we pay for Odegaard? 3 million?
3 million, I think.
We've been paying like close to 40 million for Ceballos over 2 seasons.
Yeah.
For doing fuck all. So that should probably be the priority, like we can, if we do need to get a backup for Partey, it should be after getting rid of Ceballos. Because he's just sitting there on wages and like wasted transfer fee.
But holding you on to that Odegaard conversation, did you watch his game in the United game? What do you think about how he played?
He didn't do anything to judge based on that performance. He had like 2-3 passes. That's it.
Enough time to like make that much impression, so we cannot like pass judgment on that. So
for me,
I think let him start him in Aston Villa game and see. It would be like a good opportunity for him because like playing like at this moment is like would be tough.
Ellen, one more thing before we complete the transfer things. AMN moved on. Were you happy about it? Were you sad about it? Because for me, he could have stayed and fought for a place. He would have been third choice at a right back position or a second choice at a left back position. But he didn't want to play there.
He was smart enough to know that he will not get a chance at this team. Let me be honest. And another thing is he wanted to play as a midfielder. He thought going into another team and playing as a midfielder there might make others to notice that he's a good midfield player too. So it's a win-win for both because if he plays midfield also very well, right? Then we can project him as a versatile player and we can sell him high. I don't see him as a long-term prospect for Arsenal. So I think this will help us to sell him for a higher price. The good thing again, which we have to discuss here is Willock got transferred to a Premier League, loan to a Premier League club, which I was saying needs to be done so that he plays. But again, I'm not sure in Newcastle how many games he'll play. But if he plays day in day out, right, that will help us physical fitness a lot playing in a club like Newcastle. And the most important thing is we got a backup for Runnerson.
Backup for Runnerson.
But now Runnerson is not part of the Europa League squad itself. It's Matt Ryan.
Yeah, but then for the next game we have to play Runnerson against Aston Villa. No, there is no other thing.
One thing I was impressed with Runnerson. Maybe I'm one of guy again. I think he should come and start taking free kicks.
Free kicks, yeah. I was so happy with the free kick.
I just have one thing. Ellen mentioned that Ayman wants to play midfield. He does definitely want to play midfield, and he was right in making the decision because he is not a wing back by trade, and he's being forced to play in those positions. It is not working. So even if he continues to fight for a spot, he's going to fight for something that he's definitely not going to be good at. So he's not going. That is not going to yield anything. That's not going to lead to anything. But I feel if he does improve his passing, given the fact that he has age on his time, he can definitely be a backup for Partey that we're looking for. If he can improve his passing, because he can do the running. He's the kind of guy who does the running all over the pitch. So running has never been a problem for him. He can tackle. That has never been a problem for him. The biggest problem is his casual attitude when he passes, when he loses the ball. if he's able to rectify that, if this loan deal does any good for him with him playing in the midfield, he could be possibly a backup for a party if he can improve his passing.
Hmm.
It's a
The
big
thing
if.
is, he has gone to West Brom. I
Yeah.
don't think so. He would improve
Yeah.
a lot in his passing. They just play football and like do some nonsense.
Yeah.
That is like
He
I
needs.
feel that is a bad like loan move for A&M, especially like if he wants to improve himself in like a midfield or something, he should have gone to like some ball playing club.
But
Like
then, but then, who will give him a midfield position in a ball-playing club right
even
now?
in West Brom, I don't think so. He would go into midfield. I'm pretty sure like Sam will start him in right back.
Let's see. But then again, we got to get our predictions for the upcoming Aston Villa game. So, Arun, do you want to go first on the predictions? We are
How do
playing
you want to
Renaissance
end the
and
podcast?
Goal.
How do you want to end the podcast? It depends on that.
We are always truthful in our podcast. So
No, that's why he has started with you, Arun, like not with person like me.
We'll lose the game. Aston Villa is a goner. We'll probably be losing 1-0 or 2-1.
Okay, I'll put you down for a 1-0. Deepak, what about you? Aston Villa.
It will be a draw, 1-1.
Will Martinez show us that he is a great miss or
It's
something?
not a miss.
Yeah,
Martinez is
it's
not a
not a-
miss anymore. We cannot keep talking about that. Leno has
Yeah,
been.
Leno has
I'd
been
say
like
Martinez is a
good,
miss.
and Martinez didn't have like a great game today. He like it was like two bad mistakes from him against West Ham. I saw the highlights just like 10 minutes back. So yeah, I think it would be a 1-1, and probably like Oli Watkins to score, and I think hopefully Auba will score.
I'll be happy if Aubameyang scores. Ellen, what's your take on it?
It will be like 1-1 from my side too. Like I'm predicting a draw this week. But like just to add, like last time when we played Aston Villa, we had this Ozil and Sokratis removing from the squad and like all these unrest, and we like lost there because of that. And now with Leno and like Luis getting these red cards, like again a similar kind of situation because Renaissance has to play and everything. So that's why I'm predicting a draw, or else I would have predicted a win.
I think we will win especially because after the game, all the players in Instagram and tweet has come up with statements saying like they were angry about the decision.
We've been doing this on Instagram and tweeting about this since 2015.
No, but I feel there is some difference because of the quality of players we have who can back up what they talk. It's no longer like Xhaka talking out of his ass. We have players like
Xhaka
Saka.
has been the best player for 2 months. We cannot complain.
No, like Shaka from years past, not now. Like now he's not doing any talking, but now
He's
it's like
talking on the pitch right now.
But I still
Deepak, just to add, some weeks back, right? Like you made fun of me when I said with Partey, Xhaka will be a great player. Like Xhaka and
No,
Partey
I
will
didn't
complement.
make
No,
fun
but
of
like
you.
if you see the last 2 months, right? Partey coming back from injury and starting is the same period. So there is something there.
Yeah, I like in the like previous like I guess 3 or 4 pods back, I said I would give Arteta time until Partey comes back and see how he performs. So yeah, let's see. If the team doesn't improve, I am starting Arteta out from next
That's a good way to end the pod.
That is really a good way to end the pod, actually. But thank you, guys. It's been a nice one. We had some fun. Thanks for making me smile. Hopefully, we'll meet after the Aston Villa game in a better mood. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.